Oh, they were looking weird. They were all like zigzagged. It was crazy.
That wall beat you. OJ 0, wall 1.
That wall kicked my.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 438, late Halloween episode. In fact, many people are at Halloween parties right now, including Sean, who is he's enjoying a number of adult beverages right now, and we'll see what happens on his social media account as the night goes on.
In my head, I always picture like he's teleconferencing into a party and just drinking on his couch, and that's why he doesn't want to
adult beverages like apple cider,
the
vodka.
Yeah. Oh no.
the
apple cider, apple juice, orange juice,
gin and apple.
Mm-hmm. Good drinks.
How'd Halloween go anyway? You guys do anything fun?
I don't know. I was here.
Nope.
I don't know. Do people come up the road to the house and like knock on your door for candy?
I'm in the neighborhood. They do, but I don't answer. Screw them.
I didn't do any. I streamed. I had a Halloween stream, but nobody really came up to the door because we didn't have our lights on. So here it's kind of like, if your lights aren't on, then don't go to the door,
like a scary that like you'll never come back situation.
It's
just, if your lights aren't on, don't go. And that's and so nobody rang the doorbell.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people coming through and stuff, and we decided to walk down the road with the kids just for like just to go do trick-or-treating for a minute and then come back, and like all the candy was gone. So people swiped all the candy in the span of maybe 15 minutes while we were gone.
It was just one person.
Yeah, I was probably just
maybe
dumped it in.
It probably was. It's like like how it is now. Can't leave it unattended. It gotta like actually, baby. Back in the day, I feel like you would go to houses and they'd have a bucket out front, and it would be like, take one. You're like,
yeah,
okay.
People did that, but then there'd be like the douchebag kids that would take like the whole that would take the whole thing, So.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like back then it was pretty straightforward. I don't know. I mean, I guess there were some kids that like would just take everything, but I was shocked. I was like, man, really 15 minutes? That was quick. Wow. Yeah. Walked down to the cul-de-sac and back, and it was all gone. It's like, oh, there you go.
My wife doesn't like Halloween either, so she's just not a fan of it. So we just didn't really do anything.
Yeah, a lot of communities do like those like the trunk or treat things where people just have their cars and like you just go do that, and then I guess for Halloween you don't necessarily have to go out because you have so much candy from it.
That's what I saw some people doing. That there's like a big old shopping center, and I saw some people, like a lot of the neighborhood was just doing that. They would just take the kids there, and they would just do the whole trunker thing out of there. And like there's food, and you can get candy, and it's just easier that way. And it's also like people are crazy too. Some people do crazy stuff to the candy too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I feel like it's probably more common than I'm thinking for people just stealing whole bowls if it's just out there. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like it was crazy good. It wasn't like full chocolate bars, So you occasionally have that one neighbor who's just giving out like full size chocolate bars or Reese cups or whatever. It wasn't that. It was the
small little
fun. Buy the $5 bag of some little M&M things and little Twix and little Snickers. It was just that stuff, but still, it's like, well, there you go. Can't leave it unattended. I'll remember that for next year, I guess. But let's go around here. OJ, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back this week. Last week had a little bit of a stream that I had to do, but back again. So it's good to be here.
And OJ, and then Evan, how you doing over there, sir?
All right.
Good stuff. We had it was a pretty fun week for gaming, I'd say. We had the anniversary at the PS2. That happened the day after the last podcast that we did. So we were like technically we're ahead of it, but I figured I would throw it in here. We had that Switch 2 edition for Animal Crossing. Big announcement for Nintendo, obviously, because how big that game is. Then we had Microsoft making the rounds, some Xbox sales info that didn't look good, but then we have Satya Nadella and saying all kinds of stuff with where their competition really is. So some fun stuff to go over here. And then I have some questions that I polled from the audience over on the Patreon. So if anyone in the audience now hasn't had a chance to, you can go over there, drop something in, and I'll bring it up here. So Woody Cole, it turns out there are a lot of parties going on tonight, and you are looking at the three people who are not at parties.
Yes, a social manager, a college student, and Sean.
Yes.
So it does add up. But
people, it's like people who have lives, people who don't.
There we are.
That's really where it's at right now. People, life, no life. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I have some guests I've been talking to as well that should be coming up over the next couple of weeks. So we'll have some fun with that too. Some new people popping in. I did have a chance to talk to Matt Piscatella actually this week as well. I posted that interview up this morning, and more just like a podcast back and forth. That was kind of interesting to get his take on some of the industry, some of the changes in industry trends and stuff with gaming right now. And I had him look up some of the PS2 stats, like what the last PS2 game was that sold in the US. And it turns out this year alone, there were just in September, there were 20 different PS2 games that sold at like retail, big box stores. Like I guess that they just randomly find.
They found like the underneath, like they're cleaning out, or they're and there's a random PS2 game just chilling. Like, oh wow, sealed PS2.
Dude, I'm telling you,
yeah,
PS2 games still selling. It's crazy.
Oh man, that's great.
It's crazy. Yeah, Jeff Grubb in there. Hey, it's the way we go. Saturday night.
Gene's in chat too.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Yeah. Good stuff. I did. Evan, you said you did buy Arc Raiders.
Yep. You
bought it. You played it. I actually picked up a game this past week that I've been playing too, that I can comment on. That I was pleasantly surprised about. I don't know, OG, you've been playing mostly Pokemon still?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get everything in Pokemon. I'm like 40. I think I just hit 40 hours, so I want to get everything wrapped up and then get my review. Like I'll probably take like 50 to 60 hours. I'll get my review done and then head to get my video out because I'm gonna do like a full complete review. And then I'll do Hyrule Warriors is coming out. So I want to finish that before Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment comes out.
Yep. Here we go. We'll see what happens. Oh boy.
Fuck you. Okay.
Is that vomit on your chin? Yeah, okay.
And he's out.
He's gone. That was quick.
Yeah,
he was here and then he was gone. I don't know what was going on. You said he had something going on as some I don't know, either beer or vomit.
That was vomit right there. That was chunks.
I told you they're at parties. I was not messing around. They are there. That's actually what's happening. Good to see Sean popping. Evan, and shout out to Rex. Oh, Rex in the chat too. Shout out to Rex. Yeah, have Rex back on at some point. Keep seeing him floating around in the chat.
Yeah, he came by my stream the other day too. So shout outs to seeing Rex around. That's good. Good stuff.
Evan, how's Arc Raiders going there, sir?
That's good. 20 hours since launch. Been playing. Streamed it a bit. It's enjoyable. It is definitely a closer to casual extraction shooter. It's not completely there, but a lot of people seem to be enjoying it. It's really set up for, I guess, social interaction better than most games, but I mean, you still get the average gamer who just won't say anything and that's it. They'll just see you, shoot you, that's it. And you can respond though. That's the beauty of it. In a lot of other games, it's like they just hit you clean in the head with some AP rounds and your screen goes black and that's the end of it. But
this is an extraction shooter though. So I played around with like the network server slam that they did. And a lot of the menu was kind of blocked off. So it seemed like there were upgrade paths and like they had a menu where you jumped around a store. So it wasn't necessarily like a big open hub world that I'm running around and it was kind of just menu system and then you launch into an area.
And it's a bunch of maps. They rotate. They have different events going on that'll randomly appear in different areas. They have big events. Like there's one that actually has a date and time that it's going to happen. I think it's like probably a week from now, called the Electric Storm, that's supposed to pop up. They talked about something like maps will change seasonally.
Oh, like so when it snows outside, there'll be snow on the ground. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow, this seems really intricate for.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Who makes this game again?
Trying to make me remember names.
I gotta look. Embark Studio and Nexon.
Yeah.
And Embark Studios. Okay. Nexon's pretty big. So, but Embark Studios, that's interesting. I want to see what they've done before this. They did the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, the finals. The finals was made by like some old Battlefield devs.
Nope.
That's interesting. Okay, so this is their extraction shooter, then not necessarily the arena shooter.
Wasn't that kind of popular though? The finals wasn't that like
finals had a big, very active community. It wasn't like god tier massive, but they did have a good chunk.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I played some of it in that Network Slam, and it seemed like it was pretty well put together for. I want to say janky. What I expect out of some of these extraction shooters, some jank to it. Didn't necessarily have as much as I was expecting. It felt kind of polished.
No, yeah. I mean, again, 20 hours. I've barely run into anything that feels odd.
Okay, so you're about 20 hours in, and you said that there was like it's proximity chat, not as much as you were expecting being used.
No, because I watched the closed beta, and that was just specific people. Everyone was talking. It was a lot of interaction, and it was like, oh, that's cool. That's what I prefer. That's why, in terms of like first person shooters, I play Hell Let Loose more than anything else, because when I'm in there, everyone's talking. I think I played like 7 matches last week, and not a single one had no one talking. And this one, I mean, you could go 20 minutes in a match, run into 6 people, not a single person will say anything. Like, all right, this is a little dead.
I
but
thought
okay.
I thought the voice modulator thing was kind of interesting. What you were saying, it'll change your voice.
The AI voice over situation where it'll take what you're saying and convert it to an NPC voice.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Jeffrey Tucker was asking, how's the Arc Raiders performance?
It's good. I play it on my 3600 when I'm not streaming, but I have to move it to my gaming PC when I do, because I can't run OBS.
Your 3080 or what video card is that one?
The 36 is the one I play just generally. That's the one I edit on, and then if I'm streaming,
that one has a 3080 or 30. What's in that?
The gaming one's 3080.
Okay.
Yeah,
because you have 2 PCs over there. I know one's a 3080. What's in the other one? Is that one like a 3060 or something?
Yeah.
Okay, 3060. He can verify. I was just mean by like what frames you're getting on the
90 pretty consistently with my less than, and then I think I get like 100 something on my 30
on the 3080. Even the 3080 technically now is like 2 generations behind. About to be 3 generations when I assume next year unveil new cards, or at least talk about new cards. It's hard to believe the 3080 is like that old now, that it's fallen so many generations back. But I mean, that's the thing. Arc Raiders right now on Steam, massively popular. It's 276,000 people are on right now playing it on PC. And I saw on Xbox, it seems pretty popular on PlayStation. So it seems like they're off and running with an extraction shooter. And I don't know if I would feel annoyed or somewhat relieved if I'm Bungie, because it does seem like then you have the extraction shooter kind of being pushed in front of more and more mainstream people.
No, Bungie's
fucked. Marathon. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I tried to help him out. I tried.
Even when they were doing the beta for Marathon, the gameplay loop for a lot of people wasn't super interesting. It was definitely missing something. And then you get all the negative press on top of it. And it's just like, nope.
Yeah, Jeffrey, you're good. A 47 Super we'll crush it then. Evan said he has a 3060 12 gigabyte card, so yours should be fine. Yeah, you're in good shape there. I'm looking at it, but that's I did try out the Battlefield Battle Royale. I don't know if you had a chance to try that, Evan.
I watch people play it. I'm in
RedSec. Yeah, I dropped in, and I think I like this more than Warzone. The military battle royale shooter.
It still has a lot of the same things as Warzone. I mean, that seems to be what keeps happening with the new Battlefield stuff. But time to kill, does that feel faster? I know what people have said. It seems Call of Duty,
faster. For Call of Duty, if I compare them, I think it might be a little slower. I'm trying to think. I think breaking through plates is faster, but I've definitely like tapped a bunch of people when they're running past, and they're not downed. But I think it's close enough to where they definitely took the Call of Duty formula and built on top of it. So, I mean, it's the same idea of you drop into the zone and then everyone converges to the middle because the circle's closing. But the gas, they have explosions. It looks really cool. But if you touch outside the circle, you just die. There is no hey, this thing is going to take a little while to suffocate you or something. No, you just die.
Well, you say that, but there have been a lot of clips of people standing in the dead center of the fire circle as second place winners because somehow people got outside the circle and they're just chilling.
The idea is, and maybe they have to patch it or work on it as they get more and more bug reports. The idea is if you touch outside the circle, you just die. Like I said, it's pretty good about telling you when you're in danger. So you do have to kind of run into a situation of being pinned down or like you actively put yourself outside the circle. So it's not as easy to end up like I feel like with Call of Duty and the gas, you'll just all of a sudden be overtaken and be like, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's not really like that. You have a lot of warnings. But then you have like like when you drop, you'll drop in formation with someone. You have to actively break away from them. So you're very likely to land with your team. And a lot of stuff is destructible. Like in Call of Duty, it's very static. Everything is kind of bolted to the floor. But in Battlefield, MVG got a sledgehammer and just started breaking down a building just because he could do it. That was it. Like that's the thing that he wanted to do. And that's kind of interesting. You have the airstrikes that actually break through the building, so you can't hide in them as well. And I'm liking it. So when you go around, you get a gun. You can find an upgrade kit that then upgrades that gun if you want. So I like it. I like kind of the setup that they have here. So
I mean, it seems fine enough. It's just it seems like more of kind of the same with a little twist, and that's about it. Because I mean, you're opening boxes that are just like these guns brought to you by Razer RGB, and you're like, all right, you're trying, but you're trying to stay away from it at the same time. I feel you. And then, of course, whenever you're running around doing things, it's just like, level up. You did this. Noises. And you're like, all right, this is the dopamine cycle. This is them trying to get you on that. And it's like, maybe.
I mean, but Arc Raiders is killing it. And then here comes Battlefield. Their Battle Royale seems to be doing pretty well out of the gate. So 2 good multiplayer games dropping. And RedSec, the Battlefield Battle Royale, it's free. So
their method of 100 million. Yeah.
We
figured there was a free thing. We figured there was going to be a free one.
That's their strategy right there. We'll see if it pans out. But the other game I picked up, and it was kind of on a whim because I saw people saying that they liked it because it's going to be releasing as we go along. But Dispatch, I bought it.
Yeah, I got that.
$30. And I was like, all right, so this is going to be kind of Telltale like. It is to a degree.
It's very Telltale like. I like the mini game, but it's very Telltale like.
Oh, you're playing it too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You did pick it up. I didn't know if anyone else got it, but this is one of those games where I'm finding out other people are playing it by being like, oh yeah, I picked this up. Just kind of on a whim. And same thing happened with like Matt Piscatella. He's like, oh yeah, I bought that. I'll play it this weekend. So they're 4 episodes deep right now. I'm right at the end of episode 4. Yep. So I got to finish that up. But this kind of came out of nowhere because I think it's actually pretty good. It's definitely better than I was expecting. But it is kind of that sort of like The Boys, I guess, kind of to where you see superheroes not necessarily in a good light. they're parody, kind of comedy like to it. Very R-rated, mature rated kind of stuff. But the art style is very much comic book / Telltale with the characters, and it is mostly a series of you're going to go through the story beats. You're going to do some quick time events if you want. You can turn them off. And then you're going to make decisions. And then there's a whole, it's almost like a tactics strategy game.
Sort of. Yeah. It's kind of RPG-esque because, I mean, you do teach them skills and stuff. And then you do have to assess their layouts for their actual statting to see if you can best do the job and then take risk based on mostly context clues, because it doesn't really tell you like straight up, oh, you're going to need this shape to win. It usually just goes, you have to look for someone, fight someone, and then you're like, all right, I have to have the punchy symbol and then the talkie symbol, and then you just you hope, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, you needed the int symbol, and you're like, oh well. At least I still got it despite having a 30% chance of victory.
Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I think the writing so far has been good. 4 episodes. There's supposed to be 8 episodes, so we're halfway done the season now.
As long as they don't telltale us and hit us with we have to put a little delay on this one. This will be out next month.
Yeah,
that gets me every time with episodics, and I'm really hoping they're good with this one. They just get it.
Like they're gonna stick to it. My only thing is, do they do that? Do they try to leave with a cliffhanger after episode 8, or do they go, we might not be able to do another one, so we're just going to wrap this whole thing up? I don't know. That's the thing I'm curious about. But I think people are actually buying this game because, again, I see a lot of people on Steam even playing it. I'm like, oh wow, okay, good. This is I mean, it's on like Metacritic, it's in the high 80s even. So people are gonna kick it. I think if you like The Boys or anything like that, this is probably worth a pickup. It has that same kind of vibe to it.
It's probably closer to Invincible than anything else.
Yep. Great.
Because it's not like the hyper violence of The Boys, but it's a bunch of idiots with powers, basically.
Yes. Yeah, basically. Yeah. So you have some of them are like the obvious, where they're doing the parody of different superheroes or supervillains or something from other comics. So it's
voiced by a lot of content creators too. So That was kind of
Is
the
it?
key of it. Yeah.
I have to look at the credits. See that. But it's fun. And then when you're done at the end, they have the credits for the episode and stuff, and they'll tell you how your decisions pair up versus everyone else and whatever else. There were a few times where I was a little surprised. I did get a 1% at one point. I should have taken a screenshot of it because it came up as like you and 1% of people did this. And I was
I
like,
think I got
really?
a
1%?
3. There was like a 3 that popped up.
Yeah, I was like 1%. What? But then you see some of the decisions, happens throughout, and you're just like, okay, 30%, 40%, okay, 60%. So it's fun just to see where the community falls on some of these decisions.
I might try to go back after the episodes are out and see if alternating decisions might do a lot, because that was kind of my big issue with old Telltale games. I know what was it, Wolf Within or whatever, Wolf Among Us. I played through the first couple episodes of that in drastically different ways, and it kept sending me down the same exact path. And it was just like, what's the point of the choose your own adventure if it's just going to be a linear story?
Right.
So I kind of want to see if different decisions change things, because there was an episode where I gave certain people a bunch of upgrades, and I'm not happy that I gave them the upgrades.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Well, but that's Dispatch though. So that's out now.
Yeah.
Well, halfway out now. The next episodes drop on the 4th, I believe. So 4th or 5th this week. So, all right, let's talk a bit about some of the news we have here. Again, I wanted to recognize the PS2 because it is 25 years old now. That happened on October 26th in the US for us. Yeah, it is pretty old. 25 years old. It came out back October 26th, 2000 in the US. And again, I got some data on the launch, and the big game was Madden. There you go. That's apparently what sold the PS2 was Madden. What was that, 2001? I think that was even on a blue. I think that was on a blue disc even. I have to see who was even on the.
But Madden was actually legitimately good back then.
That is true. Madden was pretty good
before they started reusing the same arenas over and over with the old Madden art in it. Yeah,
they just basically with the newer Madden. I hate to be the person that's always like, oh, all the new games suck, but it's like before they started like stripping the game of all the modes and stuff. Like a lot of like the Madden games don't even have a lot of the modes the PS2 games have.
They put in the microtransaction mode. You can play the microtransaction mode.
Ultimate Team. That used to be free. Like Ultimate Team used to be like a fun little free thing.
Yeah, but you can get money from it. So
yeah, listen, I don't blame them. I don't
waiting for the day you put an EA game in and it's like, all right, pay for your hours you want to play going forward. Like, oh man.
I don't blame them for doing the Ultimate Team thing that way, because people got crazy about that. So
I did manage to get the launch lineup here for the PS2. This is an article from a report from IGN dated October 27th, 2000. Yes. So it is still there 25 years later. But I mean, looking up and down the list, Armored Core 2, DOA 2, Hardcore, Fantavision, that was infamous game there at launch with the fireworks. Orphan. That was Activision. That's funny. That's a terrible game. But then SSX was another big one apparently that helped launch the system, according to Circana's sales data. It was like SSX, Madden. Those were some of the big ones that we had for the first year. So it was like the first year was Madden 2001 and then Madden 2002. Those are like the top couple of games. And then we did have Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, another big one for the year. So that's the PS2. And I just, it's funny. I see a lot of people talk like the PS2 is kind of coming back around. A lot of people are interested in the PS2 right now more than ever. I'm seeing it in search results for YouTube, even just chatter around comment sections and stuff. People are legitimately trying to go back and kind of rebuild their PS2, whether it's their library, even just trying to figure out how to set up a little emulation box to play the game. So 25 years later, man, it's still rolling along. It really is. How many games were there for this thing? Like total? Wasn't like,
are you kidding?
4,000, 5,000?
Total PS2 library. I had to see how
like
many.
When you're finding the most garbage PS2 games at like your local grocery store, there were too many games on that system.
Sony's figures right around 11,000, but that's with like re-releases, different variants. So you have like your greatest hits and the red label ones.
Oh, they're counting all that?
Yeah, I think people were estimating it's actually closer to like 6,500 if you take all that stuff out.
Oh, I was off. I said 4,000 or 5,000.
That's close. People were saying it's right around 6,500 if you like eliminate a lot of the extras, the duplicates, and the different editions of regional ones. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot because we hear that Steam had 19,000 games that released last year, but these are all physical to store games. So you had to really put the time into, press the discs, make the cover art, ship it everywhere. It wasn't just
no patches.
Yeah.
No patching.
Whatever was on that disc is what was on that disc. That was it. For better or worse.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Sometimes there were times where they had recalls for games and you had to send the disc in. Yep. I remember one, I think it was this was on the Xbox, WrestleMania like 20.
Sounds like it should be a WrestleMania game that required a recall.
It was pretty funny. It was like WrestleMania 21 or something. You had to send the disc back and they literally just sent you a different one. But the PS2 is super. People are starting to rebuild the back end OS from Japan, and like it's been translated. You can load it onto PS2 now, and it looks completely different. And I went back and played a couple of PS2 games for the emulation video, and some of them are kind of crunchy. Others though have actually aged pretty well with an HDMI out solution for the PS2. So still a good time. Still, I think a good one to pick up as long as you can figure out a way to get video to your flat screen with it. As long as you can do that.
Old school, like a PS3. Like if you can get like the
yes, if you can get the backwards compatible one. Yeah.
That's how I do mine.
See, the PS2 itself also hasn't gotten stupid expensive, and it's probably just because there's so many of them out there. But you can find like a clean PS2 still for under $100. Like a nice one with like a legit controller, the whole thing. So it's working in the favor of people who want to go back and experience it again. I actually didn't get a PS2 till later in the generation. I got a GameCube, then an Xbox, then a PS2. That was the order. Actually, I ended up just playing my friend's PS2 up until that point. So I had the GameCube and he had the PS2. And
I think I got a PS2. I got a GameCube in I think 2002. I got a GameCube, and then in 2003, I remember. I was working fast food, and I was able to afford it. And my friend, he was a pothead. Back then, it was illegal though, and I knew that he needed money for pot. So I was like, "Hey, let me buy your PS2." And he's like, "Nah, man." And I was like, "I'll just wait. He's gonna run out. He's gonna run out of." And I just waited about 2 weeks. He's like, "Hey, man, how much you want this PS2 for?" I'm like, "I got about 100, bro." And he's like, 120. I was like, "Cool, I'll give you 120."
If I could tell you what the inside of that system looked like on its fans,
it was clean. He had it unhooked, and I got the PS2. I got Metal Gear Solid 2. I got a memory card and 2 controllers for 120.
Okay.
Yeah.
The memory card, man. Back then, you had that memory card drought that was happening, and those cards tripled in price like immediately. It was impossible to find these things. I remember one of the things I did buy, which is funny, and maybe other people did this too. As if you just have a memory card, you can just go over to whoever's friend's house and play your games. Everybody had it.
There were arcade games that let you take your memory card in and put it into the arcade to load your stuff. I think most of like the football games, like NFL Blitz.
That was actually pretty awesome. I had a memory card. It was like one of those Magic Gate ones, so it wasn't even like a first party Sony one. And I just took that around with me to 2 friends I had PS2s, and they had similar games, so it was pretty easy to go around and I'll just pop my memory card in here and load my save file and keep playing. So I think that's how I beat Final Fantasy X. Was just over at different friends' house. They both had it, and I was just back and forth with my memory card. But that was I didn't get to do all the stuff until I actually got a PS2 years later in that game. But that was the move. Just did that. Went over to a friend's house for the weekend and just played the PS2.
The move for people that want to build their old if you want to build your old libraries, finding like crackheads or finding like potheads and finding people that do
hunt them down.
Just find people who do that. And like my fat PS3, I bought that in 2016. I bought that from a crackhead dude for $80 in 2016, and he gave me that plus he gave me 2 controllers he gave me that fat PS3, and he gave me like 10 games because he really needed money for drugs. So I was like, cool, man.
Little did OJ know that was from like a family down the road. That was their Christmas present. And...
That's not my problem. That's not my problem.
Crackhead proof your house.
That's not my issue. I have nothing to do with that.
User says Budokai Tenkaichi games went hard. I remember when Budokai 1 came out, that was insane because up to that point we had, I mean, just terrible Dragon Ball games. Like they were just really bad up to that point. And
PS2 was the intro for the Naruto
Budokai
games.
No, yeah, the Naruto games. Yep. But I just remember Budokai was incredible when that that
the
came
original
out.
Budokai, right? Yeah, when that came out, it was great. I had to wait though for because I had to wait to get it on the GameCube. But I bought it day one on GameCube. It was $40, and I remember
I owned it on the GameCube.
Having a
My
blast.
friend had it on the PS2. I just played it on
nice,
the PS2.
nice.
But the GameCube had like additional cell shaded visuals. Like the visuals are better on the GameCube. The load times are better. So that was technically a better version. It's just I know people preferred the PS2 controller over the GameCube controller for that game.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a good release. It was, and you're right, it was cheaper, so it was awesome. I remember picking it up, and I was like, yeah, this is. I still have it on the GameCube over here. And the second one, they didn't bring the third one. Unfortunately, they stopped there because the GameCube wasn't selling.
yeah.
There you go.
I played the third one was incredible when it came out.
Oh yeah.
The second release was kind of it was all right, but it was kind of meh. But the third game, oh my god, that was an incredible release. I love that game.
Budokai 3, great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Yeah, the second one people didn't really like as much. I mean, that's back when we got a ton of games in one generation. I'd be really curious to see what the gap was between those releases. It couldn't have been more than like a year and a half.
It was all like almost back to back to back. Because I remember Budokai 3 came out, I think, in 2005, and then Budokai, the original one, was I think in 2001 or 2002, 2003.
The first one was December 2002.
Okay, yeah, 2002
on the PS2.
Yeah.
And then we had Budokai 2 came out November 14th. Oh, December 4th, 2003, a year later.
Yeah. I knew it was pretty
crazy.
Close. Yeah, pretty close to each other.
That's insane to have that come out a year later.
And I think they rushed it. The single player mode, because I played the single player mode. The single player mode in that game is bad. It's just like it's like
is that the second one? It's like a board game, yeah.
Yeah, it's legitimately bad compared to the first game and compared to the third game, you know.
But then Budokai 3 comes out November 16th, 2004. That's a legendary run for Dragon Ball fans if you had a PS2 right there. And it's just like every year a new Dragon Ball Z release, and they're like great games for the most part. That was it right there. Those were the days. Just release after release after release. And
I think I put around maybe 300 to 400 hours into Budokai 3. I put a ton of time. There was no online play, but what you could do is that you can do like you can have like your own created character, and then like you can like input codes and play other people's character like when you input their code. So I mean, it wasn't really like online play. That was the only thing. And I remember my friends, we were talking about like that's the only thing that's missing from the game is like good online play.
Yep. But there was so much content in that game.
Yeah.
You could just single player, just play that thing forever almost. It was craziness.
Yeah.
But those are the days, man. Just constant releases. Although again, it was we said it's like 6,000 some odd games in the span of. I mean, the PS2 went on for a long time, but there's that like legendary run of 6 years for that system.
Yeah.
So it was impressive. It was a great system. But that's for a lot of people, that's like their best. That was the last console Evan ever owned.
Yeah. No,
it was the PS2 home console.
I guess because I had the Switch there for a little bit.
Right. But I mean, like dedicated, like box that you plug into your TV, and
that Switch never leaves its little plug-in.
But like that was for like the traditional box.
Yeah, because I got the
right?
I got the PS3 and then I returned it.
Yeah,
so it
didn't do anything for you. The PS2 was it? You traded that PS2 in for I think a DSi or something.
Yep,
but
the DSi.
That was much later. But that was you had like Zone of the Enders 2 and everything.
Oh yeah,
and good days. Go over here and see. Oh, we had Hungry Bartender became a YouTube member. Shout out to Hungry Bartender. Rescue Squad says, evening, happy 2 months and first day of November. Year's going quick. Year's going very quick. Already November. We're 2 months away from the end of the year. So let's see. Schreiner Dogs Game World says, OJ, dude, you can't end the pre-show like that. Baseball isn't life year round. Go Mariners. Man. Jeffrey Tucker says, Power Wash Simulator 2 on Switch 2 rocks. It's super chill and looks amazing at 4K 60. Too many baseball games, OJ. Man.
The idea of 4K 60 Power
Well,
Wash
the
Simulator.
situation, for those who don't know, is that I stopped watching baseball because I'm tired of watching a team lose so much. Baseball is stupid at times because you play 106. There's too many damn games, and you're gonna lose a lot. So like the Mariners, they lose a lot. Like I went through their win-loss record from like the 80s. I started watching in the early 90s, like Ken Griffey, and their win-loss record, it's like a lot of losses. You're just sitting there losing. And like if you hit the ball 3 times out of 10 times, you're a good player. That's too much L's. That's way too many L's. Most of the time, you're not gonna get on base. So to me, I'm tired of all the L's. I'm tired of like they don't ever make it. They barely ever make it to the playoffs. And they've never made it to the World Series since I've been alive watching. So yeah, it sucks, man. I'm done. I'm not subjugating myself.
Why not just pick a good team?
No, the Mariners are my team. And even if you pick a good team, chances are they're just going to get beat by the Dodgers or somebody with
at least they're going to get
anyway.
Close. And every single time they play against the Mariners, your parasocial relationship with millionaires that hit a ball with a stick will flare up.
I do not have a parasocial relationship.
The wall you punched a hole in says otherwise.
I simply want to see them win, and if they don't, it's like I'm not happy with them not winning. But I don't want to see the Mariners this year lost 70 something games. That's too. Even though they won 90, that's too many L's.
Those people make more money than you. If they make more money to lose,
too many L's for me to watch.
Pyro says, if I had to sell all of my gaming stuff and only keep one thing for life, it would be the Steam Deck OLED. How about y'all pick only one thing to keep? All your gaming stuff?
I've got it. My PC's here.
All of your gaming stuff. Well, I mean, I would probably have to keep the PC because
you
do a lot
more on it.
I was going to say, hold on a minute.
Played everything on it.
Hold on. But I mean, like in general, like do like the work stuff and everything.
You just go off, just go off the handle and be like the SNK handheld.
for gaming stuff, gaming specifically. That is a good question.
Virtual Boy.
Yeah, right. that is a good question for gaming specifically. And you know what? I would probably have to take the backwards compatible PS3 with me. Yeah, there's just too many games that thing plays. Although I guess if I only had one, that's the thing though. The Steam Deck OLED has all the games on it. This is all digital, basically, right? That's tough because if you take a PS3, odds are you have a bunch of games that aren't going to go with you too.
Nope.
I get the idea of the Steam Deck OLED. Then that's a good point. You have to have a really big digital library then. Still got to keep that PS3 alive. Only so many of them left. Space Samurai said, I had no candy, so off-brand Dr. Pepper for anybody. Superman says, Newswave is morning staple. Thesis was on media's effects on children. I can't watch local St. Louis news and national news anymore. Makes me mad. Gaming news. That's what we're here for. Gaming news. Got you covered. Got that. And there we go. Zoob says, Arc is good, but painfully slow. Is this slow, Evan?
I think it's Res Arc.
Res Arc.
Yeah.
Res Arc.
Yeah. I don't. Oh, it's Zoob. He might be talking about the Chainsaw Man movie.
Oh.
Potentially. Zoob does off topic a lot.
Okay. I never got into Chainsaw Man. I don't know. It says painfully slow, though, apparently, this one. Truly Epic says, just curious on how the cast enjoys retro gaming nowadays. Original hardware, modded original hardware through collections or emulation, etc. Well, right now I did a whole video on an emulation system, so I was enjoying it through there. But for the most part, I still have a lot of the systems hooked up, GameCube and PlayStation and that kind of thing. But think right now, definitely modded original hardware. So I have an original Xbox where I rip a lot of the games to the hard drive. I have a PS2, same deal, rip a lot of games to hard drive. The GameCube over here has the SD card loader. So yes, I have a lot of the games, but it's easier just to have them ripped to a solid state storage of some kind. Loading's faster, and you don't have to necessarily mess around with the discs all the time. So that's all I'm doing anyway. K Muton says, most recent tech test for Marathon was very positive for me and others, Evan. The loop is better now, and game is a lot more PvP focused, which I prefer.
The problem is they still have that mountain to get over of everything
First
that happened
impression.
up till now, festering among a lot of
That's true.
people as well. The Bungie brand seeming more and more like Sony might just consume them. And then, like, if they don't want to keep going with Marathon, like, you're going to put time in for that? I don't know. It's a little weird. Hopefully it's fine, though.
Resident Evil Generation Pack for Switch 2 is 18th on Amazon video game bestsellers. How about them key cards? That price, it's hard to turn down that pricing. That's a pretty good deal.
It's the pricing more than anything. Because I bought it too because I haven't bought any key cards yet. But I was like, wait a minute, hold up. for $90, and it's going to be a limited time thing. Like that pack's going away after I think the end of March. So
right. I mean, the box looks cool. Everything else around it looks really cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of that Pro controller?
It's an okay design. It's not like terribly like crazy, but it's not like the worst thing ever. It's just kind of like like a 6 or 7 out of 10 type design for me.
I was a little disappointed with it just because I was looking for something maybe a little more colorful. It's very muted, the design. So I think it'd be cool if they had maybe a splat, like, because if you look at the title for the game and a lot of the artwork they've done, it's like a whitish gray, and then you have red kind of splattered across it at times. It'd have been cool if they just had some red in there or something, just to kind of just a splash of color. I think would have made it look really cool. Maybe that's just easier for them to get done, where it's just kind of gray. I don't know. But looks like kind of news. It looks like the local newspaper edition controller. And shout out to Steve, new member. Oh, and then Kevin says we have so many games stuck on the PS2 that need to get remake, including Capcom's Chaos Theory. Well, Chaos. Hold on, Chaos Theory. I was immediately thinking of something else, unless you are referring to Splinter Cell, in which case that's Ubisoft. I think there's another game similar to that title on the PS2. I was thinking of something else.
Is he saying Chaos Theory or Chaos Legion?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you said Capcom, I was like, no, I think there's another game with Chaos in the title. Chaos Theory is it would be Ubisoft though.
Yeah, I remember Chaos Legion.
Sim God Rudy says, what do you think of MCon?
I glanced at that for a second. I thought it was like, what do you think of the moon? I was like,
oh, the moon. Well, it's still up there, so
it's good, pretty pog. I don't know.
Tijo says, breaking news, Nintendo announces Super Mario Universe for Switch 2, PS5, PC. Sony announces Spider-Man 3 is on PC day one. Seriously, the games industry is tearing itself apart. That got really dark really fast there, Tijo. Gosh. That it's been an interesting ride in the gaming industry over the last couple of years now. People are trying to figure out what Microsoft's play is right now, because they keep saying all kinds of randomness. So what this past week, we've had Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Satya Nadella all say things. And it is kind of all over the place right now. So we just had Satya Nadella talked about gaming's their competition now that they're dealing with. And this had some people going a bit crazy online, because the idea has always been it's Xbox versus PlayStation, and then kind of Nintendo in there as well with them, right? But, it was always like, oh, there's Xbox, there's PlayStation. They're both making the standard box that you plug into the TV and can't necessarily move, with you if you want to go somewhere like you could with the Switch. But they would target the quote-unquote high-end dedicated console market. But Satya Nadella mentioned that their real competition right now isn't necessarily another console. It's actually short form video and he named TikTok. Now Matt Booty did the same thing where he said that they're Matt Booty.
Sorry.
Booty. Yeah. He also name dropped TikTok as their main competition. So there must be some kind of like marching orders going around in the company or something, or at least on Xbox side of like, oh, keep an eye out on TikTok. This is what we got to worry about, but not necessarily a game system or even gaming ecosystem. No, TikTok, short form video, doom scrolling. That is the new competition, which makes you wonder how they're developing these games. He even says they need to come up with innovative ways to, I guess, push the medium forward, different ways to interact with gaming so they can compete with short form video like TikTok. Don't know what that looks like.
It's a bunch of games you buy for $10 that last 30 seconds.
Yeah, that is kind of the concern, right? Hold on, is he saying they need to capture the people who have super low attention spans, or they need to make games that are easy to consume in a couple of minutes at a time?
Well,
like how TikTok is.
Games have been trying to move towards it. It's what we literally just talked about with Red Sec, where there is that dopamine cycle of every little thing you do has to end in loud noises, flashing lights, you leveled up, you gained, you picked up, you upgraded. Like, that's what they tried to do, but like then you compare it to TikTok, which is an instance of that, and then another instance of something completely different. So it's more jarring for the average person. I don't know how you do a game like that outside of the game basically playing itself and then constantly telling you you're awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, so Sean Layden also had mentioned TikTok as being something that would be kind of difficult to compete with. This was, I think, a year ago, and he compared it more to time spent, as in where's like even the new generation, even some with the current generation, where are they spending their time? And a lot of it is they're watching videos on social media. They're scrolling through feeds on X or I guess Instagram or Facebook, and they're not as much interacting with game systems like we would back in the day. Now, I did bring that up to Matt Piscatella. He mentioned that for the most part, the younger generation is still invested in the console market, but it doesn't seem as strong as it used to be, where it was. What did we really have though when we were younger? It's like you just kind of had the console. that was it. You could also have a PC later on, but for the most part, we play the PS1 or whatever was in the living room, and that's how we spent it. Or the Game Boy, with Pokemon when that hit. But you weren't like, oh, I'm actually going to scroll through X while this load screen is up, or I'd rather just kind of look doom scroll rather than play a video game for an hour. That seems to be what is really causing some I guess some divvying up of the time for a lot of these people who would normally just be maybe playing a game. I don't know. It's interesting how you compete with that though. I don't know what you can present to them that's like, hey, rather than scroll through X, you should play Call of Duty. It's like, I don't know if you're going to grab them with that.
No, probably not. I mean, so a lot of these people who the doom scroll potential, I mean, yeah, you got the people who are at their house doing it, which is extra sad, but normally it's supposed to be like you're on a bus or a train or you're sitting in a doctor's office or something, and that's what you're doing. So the alternative is to have a form of a game that maybe takes between 5 and 10 minutes for you to play, which, I mean, that's just mobile games, which is why mobile does so well, because that is a market that gets hit pretty hard with a lot of income. I mean, we talked way back about things like Genshin, which, yeah, it's on console, but MiHoYo in a month made more than BioWare made in a decade. There's a reason for this. Like, it's just how the games are perceived, where you can play them, how quick it is. But yeah, we talked about how Microsoft's trying to convert things over to streaming, paying for the service for it, and then everything's an Xbox, which includes the phone you doom scroll on. So hopefully you'll, instead of doom scrolling, play on your phone, and hopefully it's games that take 10 minutes for you to play.
What if the next generation Xbox, you can install X on and it'll scroll for you?
Yeah, you have your AI agent doom scroll for you.
Yeah, it can find all the stuff that'll annoy you and just put it in front of you. You don't have to go searching for it. You just wake up, be like, I want to be annoyed. scroll.
I mean, that's what people do.
I know.
People do
That's
content creators. I want to wake up. I want to be angry today. Like,
it's so big that a lot of the AI stuff that exists is turning into a place you could go to doom scroll with pre-existing AI content. Like they're creating their own feeds so that they can advertise and sell ad space.
Yeah, it's literally
awesome.
They're making up people complaining about certain things. Like literally AI people complaining about certain things that are actually happening, getting people see, look, I told you. Like it's like, dude, it's not real. It's not a real person.
Yeah, there were like those. I saw those reports where like the majority of X are just bots, and it's like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. You just look through some response, like, okay. Some of these just don't sound human. It sounds like really like there's like those stock photos you'll see with the watermark, but in like text form.
Honestly, the ultimate competition for doom scrolling would be a game like WarioWare, where it's just
immediate, boom, boom, boom,
just nonstop. Just now you're in the new game. Go.
It has to be the way that they're presenting some of their games with streaming and immediate, being able to jump into the game immediately. And I think it's also the idea of the mainstream consumers who aren't necessarily super into games, like a lot of us are, how they view the experience, to where they will, for example, put it on the easiest mode just because they don't want to die or they want to be inconvenienced with that. They just want to go through it as fast as possible, or that, like we'll talk about that. What is it? The story mode. It's like the lowest lowest. Where you're like basically invincible. You're not gonna lose, whatever.
They were calling it game journalist mode. There it is.
Well, it's like the low, like the easiest mode, and some games have that to where you really can't die. And we look at it and go, I don't know why you would do that, but I'm sure there's people who are maybe haven't played a game in forever, or they don't have any interest in constantly playing games. Like, I'll just put it on that, whatever. I don't feel like being inconvenienced. It is kind of that thought process of they just want to almost be led through. Like if you just turn on Netflix, it's a very passive experience. You don't have to do a lot. You kind of sit there after you pick a show. Half the time, that's what will stop people from even watching Netflix. They can't decide what to watch. Like that interactive decision making is enough for them to be like, maybe not tonight. That's enough. So it makes you think about what happens when you ask them to pick up a controller, kind of thing. I don't know how you get around that. I think there's just some people who are just not really interested in playing games. And really, if you look at it, they kept saying 2 billion people. I wonder if there really are 2 billion gamers out there the way that they're thinking there are.
Weirdly, if you want to expand your market share of people playing games, I do honestly think it's cut back on required specs. Like, I think it'd be so wild to see Microsoft be like, oh, by the way, we're going to put out games that look really good that you could run on like a 20 series NVIDIA card.
Right.
And it's like, once you start lowering the bar so that more people could just play. Because could you imagine this current generation if they didn't do all the cross-gen games? Like, much lower numbers, much crazy. Like they're just competing with people who don't want to move on to the newer, higher end stuff. The FOMO of the extreme console is gone. Just put the games out, try to let as many people play them as humanly possible, see what happens to your market share.
Yeah, I feel like graphics used to drive the market a lot more back in the day. Now they don't. I mean, as we just talked about the PS2, going from the PS1 to the PS2 was some insane looking visual jump. You know, it's just doesn't really exist now. Now I'll see on Steam, there's a game about a duck who's like escape. You know, like the Escape from Tarkov.
Duck Off.
Like
yeah, Escape from Duck Off.
I'll look at it, it's like there's 200 some odd thousand people playing this game. What in the world is this?
And Mouthwashing was a massive game. And would you say that game looks a little PS2-esque?
PS1-esque even.
Yeah. Like, why does it matter as much to have to see every hair follicle blow in the wind individually?
Right. I think that's the thing, is there's a limit to it at this point. And if you can get it just on more, even targeting the phone is probably that even. It's like, well, if we can get it on the phone with simplified controls, it's going to run great on all the consoles and run on some like 10 series GPU from 7 years ago or 6 years ago or something on the PC. Didn't someone from Battlefield 6's team bring that up, that one of their biggest mistakes was aiming for higher end hardware? Like, they realized if they aimed for lower, they'd have a much bigger community. Yeah. I will say the Battlefield 6 is pretty well optimized. Like it runs just on lower hardware and it still looks pretty good. So they didn't tie ray tracing in. That was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was a smart move because people look at ray tracing now and they're like, I don't really know what this is doing other than tanking my frame rate 30% or something.
If they could just make the audio version of ray tracing they talked about work, I'd be happy. I don't care about the reflections, but make sound bounce off of stuff and come to me. That's awesome.
I think that's something that is kind of underrated, the idea of just improved sound, not only sound quality, but also as you're mentioning, the kind of the sensory,
the locationality or whatever,
yeah.
The ability for you to know where it's coming from.
Yeah, because we're now to where these systems and stuff can process it through even just regular TV speakers. That is pretty noticeable when you get hit with some audio from different parts of the room and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? As opposed to, you're right, there's like more hair follicles or something that you'll miss. Yeah. So that's things like that would make sense as they go along through the next generation, but it does kind of feel like we're there for visuals. I don't know. I just don't know how much better most people really need them to get. So that, and then the idea of just getting more people in. Maybe we get to a point where to play a game, you don't have to use a controller. You can just think about it and it'll do it. That's where they need to get to. They were link us in.
They were kind of doing it with Stadia, right? Where they were trying to overcome the input latency by having an AI play like you would play to do the thing in the game, to predict what you're about to do, to trick you into thinking you actually did it.
You know, it sounds crazy, but what if like you get to next generation and they have an AI agent that you can have with your system?
You have to train. It's like Rocky Balboa, but it's your AI, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make you so good at COD Warzone.
Wait a minute, that is a thing already though. Like in various kind of things. There's
Virtua Fighter had it built in for a while.
And even like amiibos, like you can just train them, like with Smash Brothers, you can train them, and then like some of them can be like really good.
What if it's like system level? You get the PS6 and they have an AI agent that's trained to play any game.
You just don't you don't get a controller at all. You get a keypad. You gotta type stuff in, be like, no, more aggressive.
I'm almost positive that will be a thing. Hey, you want the AI to take over this part? You can't defeat it. Like it'll just be able to just play the game. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing.
Well, yeah, that was a PlayStation patent, right? Where you could be like, hey, this is hard, and it'll be like, let me do this for you. Yeah, it's cool. Daddy's here.
Yeah, I almost wonder if that's just like some people won't even use the controller because it's all voice command, and they just go, go ahead and start up GTA 6. I'll watch. You go ahead and play it. It's like, okay. What an interesting future that would be. Although that is their path to 2 billion players. You just take the controller out of their hand and treat it like TikTok, actually. So there you go. By the way, as they're talking about this, their financials come out and Xbox hardware sales down another 30%. So
surprise.
Yeah, it keeps happening. I feel like that's all. I can't remember the last time Xbox hardware was even flat. It's been a long time. So yeah, there you go. I can't imagine they want to wait till it's down 30% again. I don't know if they really want to wait to 2027 for next generation. Oh gosh.
I don't think they care.
Gene's saying they're going to remake Connect. Do you think it's time?
What is he doing?
He's demonetizing our video with Return of the Mac.
They're gonna remake Connect.
It's time. They were ahead of their time with cameras in your house watching your shit.
I think it's time to say it.
To you.
It's time to say it. The Connect damaged the Xbox brand beyond repair. It's time to say it. With that, the Connect sold it sold really well, and it got Don Matrick really brave to put that thing in the box and make that system $500, and then try to like prop it up that you don't need the controller because it'll log you in and you can just minority report your way around.
Be online at all times, and if it sees a person in the room who doesn't own the DLC, you won't be able to access the DLC.
But think about it, man. That's that ever since then. I know they sold a lot of those Connect units, but ever since that Connect showed up, it's kind of been downhill for Xbox. I mean, I'm really thinking about it. I'm like, that was 2010 when that showed up. And then the 360 really started to like lose steam towards the end of that generation, and then into the Xbox One. Man, that I almost wonder what it would have been like if the Kinect did not work out, like it just didn't sell as well, and the Xbox One showed up, but not with a camera in it. It was just the system itself.
I don't know why they just didn't double down on being like the Xbox 3 or whatever, right? Being like, and then not doing like, I don't know why. Like that's what everybody was expecting. Everybody was expecting, oh, it's gonna be like the 360, but just better. You know,
well, this was post Wii, and the whole success of the Wii that everyone assumed was the level of oddity. And
there's that documentary for Power On, and Bill Gates is like mad that they didn't see the Wii coming. Like, how did we not know this? Well, we'll make the Kinect. That literally like spurred them on to dedicating a lot of like energy and time into making this Kinect.
But what I don't like is like when they say, oh, look at the Wii, or oh, look at this. Oh, but we'll charge like $200 something more. You know, like it's like, oh, you see this? How'd you not see this coming? Like, we should make sure that we put it in, but also like charge like $500, right? Which at the time, obviously, $500 is a lot more than what it is. I mean, that's the standard price now, but back then, that's a lot, right, for the system. So that doesn't like if I was an executive in that room, obviously not an executive, but if I was, I'd be like, hey, we have to have a cost like. We can't just say we're gonna add it and then it be $500 and it be way more expensive than a Wii, right? Like the reason why Wii worked was because dedicated software for it and because it was cheap. Like, so that's the only thing that I don't like when and I've been in rooms when people do that. Hey, this other company's doing this, let's do it, but let's charge $200 more. And I'm like, I want to say, I'm like, that's not gonna work. And then it doesn't work. Then everybody's like, oh, it didn't work. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, it didn't work. Like.
No, this is the tale as old as time. I mean, we keep bringing it up now with like corporations and their decision making. It's what made this good. Motion. I don't know if it was just motion. I don't know if we Occam's razor this into just one thing.
And it's just crazy that Microsoft would think just because But anyway, whatever. It's been long gone. But yeah, I never.
I did get one of those Kinects day one though. I did get it. I was
like this thing, I'm like, I didn't get it. I was like, Kinect this. It's like garbage.
They had the Kinect Adventures thing. You're going down like the river, and then at one point you have to jump up in the air, and it takes a picture of the room when you jump in the air. It shows like the end.
There were cool things with it, log flume. Because for the tech the Kinect had, it was kind of interesting and actually like pretty decently priced for that kind of a camera, to the point where people bought it not for the Xbox. They bought it for PC so much other stuff, not just for the PC stuff. There was like a booth someone set up where you could step into it, the Kinect would scan you, and then it would 3D print you like a little model of yourself. Like there were so many weird, cool things you could do with it on the cheap.
Yep. So, it was well done. It would be able to detect depth and stuff in the room, and it was pretty for the technology at the time. It was pretty advanced. Like it was able to do a lot.
There was that story early on about if you were specific ethnicities, it wouldn't pick you up for a while before it got patched. That was
And another thing with that too, like with the Kinect, it was optional. So if you wanted it, you can get it if you didn't, like, but forcing it was like another problem. That was another problem. So I don't know.
Yeah, they must have thought that was really going to catch on and people would buy the whole thing $500, because I guess they figured if it's in the box day one, developers will know that you have it, because there was even discussion around you having to plug it in for the system to work, and they had to backtrack on some of that because people were like, I don't really want to have to plug a camera in my living room.
They backtracked on everything.
No, they did. Yeah. That was huge.
Like not a single thing they didn't back. We can't just flip a switch. They flipped that switch.
Yep.
Didn't they put like a cheap DVD drive in there or Blu-ray drive because they weren't even planning on that? I thought they were doing something weird with that.
They were with the because Blu-ray is still Sony, like Sony owns part of that. There was a whole thing where they were trying to figure out a way around it, and instead, I think they had you download. Especially they do it now. Still, you have to like download an app to use it, and you have to activate it day one. It doesn't technically come activated, but there was like some regulations for that too. So it was just kind of a mess all the way around. And then Sony trips them, and then they just beat them up in the hallway. It was bad. So,
dude, was it E? Yeah, it was E3 where they were like, "This is how you share games." And they handed each other the disc.
It was ugly. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's been a rough for Microsoft ever since that.
When Sony delayed they delayed their conference to take out their own camera and just lower the price.
Man,
hey, hold on. We're gonna go just a little bit hour later. Yeah, they were
people don't like PS Move. We got to get rid of this.
They were about to include all their shit too. They saw that, everybody get all pissed. Let's remove all that.
Man, it's been tough for them really ever since. And you know what's funny is the Xbox Series. I thought when we saw that system launching, I mean, the hardware looked good. It seemed like they had a good focus in mind, and this is going to turn out to be, I think, the Xbox Series. Like it's going to be better than the original Xbox in terms of sales, but not by much. And that system was only on the market for really 4 years, 5 years technically, before it was like completely gone or done.
The problem with the series, which I identified from the very beginning, I was like, there's no first party software that's coming.
That was they had Halo, but then they had to delay it.
Yeah, then they had to, but even like they just had like there wasn't a lot. It was just a lot of teases of stuff that potentially could be a thing. And I put a post up on Twitter, I think in early 2021. I'm like, is this the worst rollout of games that I've ever seen? And like everybody, even like hardcore Xbox guys, like John, you replied to that too. And everybody was just like, yeah, this is the worst that they've seen. Like there's no first party games. And I'm like, and I saw that before and they were just teasing stuff. Oh, here's Perfect Dark, or here's this, but when's it coming? Or here's Fable, when's it coming? There was no announcements of first party games or anything. I'm like, how can you sell this system for $299 and $500 when there's not, you need software, you know? And then Phil Spencer says, oh, well, it's not about just making great software. Oh, okay.
You can play your old games on this great new experience.
And that was like the thing. It was like, oh, well, it was backwards compatible. And like, that's great, but you need new, exciting software to sell a system. Like, so that's all I was like, this system, I don't know. I'm going to buy one, but I don't know if this is going to do great because they did not have games, you know, like new first party games that were not like, you know, stuff that was also not like multi-plat. Multi-plat's great, but you need exclusive stuff, you know?
Well, they have this year coming up, 2026, and then in 2027, I don't know how many more times we can see 30% drop before it's just like you're just not selling any. That's the thing. I don't know how long. Do they want to go an entire year of basically selling no systems at all? 2027.
Yeah, I think they're not going to care. They're making money on PlayStation. They're going to release some games on Switch too. We got a couple Fallout and what else? Indiana Jones coming. So I don't think they care. They're saying everything's an Xbox now, so they're going to sell, you know, games to people on a variety of different devices and hope it makes up the difference or something. You know? Yeah,
they're gonna do next gen system. It's just I was like, I wonder if they'll get it out in 26 just because their sales are like cratering for the Xbox Series right now. I mean, how do you recommend an Xbox Series when it's $650?
It's almost impossible to recommend it. I mean, the only thing that I would say is that here's what I will say. If you can grab an Xbox Series X with a disk drive, that might go extinct at some point where nobody has one. Just because, for the physical games, the physical, like, some of the physical titles. So I'd say if you maybe want to pick that up for sometime in the future, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft is going to yeet physical games next gen. So if you want to get it for
I searched up like Xbox Series just to see, and one of the listings is looking to sell this Xbox Series X. Lowest I can do is $420. And I was just looking to see where the pricing for the Xbox Series.
Not a bad. Listen, look, if you want to be able to play your backwards compatible games with the physical disc, yes, you have to download it software wise, but it does have that ability. So that's why I tell people is like, hey, look, I wouldn't recommend buying a brand new one that's like just like all digital. Don't buy that crap. But if you can get one with a disc drive, okay, if that's what, you know, for backwards compatibility and for a couple other things.
The point is the used game market for the Xbox Series X, dude, these systems are 400 and under on eBay right now used. So I know I just mentioned it's $650 for a new one. Dude, the used market is not treating it like it's a $650 system right now. They are treating it like it is still a $500 console.
It's abandoned ship mode.
and the
kinda
games are going
looks
to
like
probably
that.
start going extinct too. It's like the games you might start seeing less and less of the physical games. So if you want to pick up Xbox One or Xbox Series games physical, a lot of them are super cheap, like Black Friday deals and all that. You can get a lot of games for like cheap physical. So I would just say you want to start building up a library because, like I said, it's probably going to be not around anymore. Like in the next 10 years, it's probably just be gone. So.
Yeah, I'm seeing them with controller, cables, 350 to 400 all day for this Xbox Series X right now. 1 terabyte with the disk drive and everything. So it's not. It seems like it's fairly easy to attain without having to spend $650. So
or I mean, you can always wait for the crackhead. I mean, there's always that option. Like I said before.
I mean, the guy said he was looking for 420 for this. So
yeah, that's just true.
You can bait though. You can
could
bait
be code.
Wait for the people. Like if you got friends that do drugs, just wait for them to when they need something next. You know what I'm saying? Just wait. They might get you a good deal on that. I don't condone drug usage. I'm actually super clean. I don't spend any money on drugs, so I'm just saying other people.
You get it for free. It's the right way to do it.
Oh, no, I don't get any drug. Hell no. I'm not. I'm good.
This is Steve. Mentioned Steve became a member. Let's see. We are right here. Yes. The Axiom says need Atlas to drop a remastered version of PS2's Steambot Chronicles. Don't think I played that one. And that boy says, just got my Switch OLED back out of its box for the first time since June. Oh my goodness, I wish the Switch 2 was lighter. Switch 2 Lite when? Well, it'd probably be the Switch Lite showed up 2 years in. 2.5 years, technically. Because it was, 2.5 years. So I would go ahead and estimate 2.5 years then. So
they gotta mix it up, though. Make it the Switch 2 heavy. It still doesn't plug into TVs, and it's just bigger.
big old chunky boy for no reason.
It's big old tablet.
So I would say holiday 2027, maybe Switch 2 Lite. There you go. Well, if it's following the same trend as the current or the first Switch. T-Joe says, I seem to recall Phil saying their competition was Amazon Luna at one point. Also, my earlier chat was a joke. The Amazon Luna is Amazon's streaming service, and the quality was good. The thing is, I think they're just naming all these different streaming services that they're competition with. So Microsoft streaming has gotten better. It's still not GeForce Now, though. It's also still not Stadia. Stadia was actually pretty good quality. They just couldn't figure out any of the e-commerce side.
When you're high up in companies, you'll find that it is best to constantly pass the blame to something outside of your company other than you. Yeah.
Callan Shaw says, I feel like I saw a patent 2015 for an Xbox VR and Kinect for tracking. I wish I could see that timeline. An Xbox with VR and Kinect for tracking. So 2016 or 2017.
Well, there was also the Wii U one, right? Where you're supposed to have the headset. They showed like Metroid with it. It was the headset and there was like a camera the Wii U would pick up so that you could wear it. We saw that like weirdly online.
Nintendo always has some weird idea, but Microsoft avoided VR completely. It seems like it was the right call just based on what we're seeing now. When was the last time anyone heard someone say PSVR 2? It's been a bit. So.
I have not. Literally, I totally forgot about that device. Like 1000% forgot about it.
It's crazy. That just completely faded into the background. Even like the Quest 3 isn't talked about much. Remember when the Apple Vision was like everywhere? You couldn't not see it on even on TV, like a show or on the news or on X timeline or whatever. I don't see anyone talking about it.
Apple paid for all that and then realized they weren't getting anything back. So let's cut that out for a little bit.
I think they just came out with a new one and it's just cheaper with a newer processor and stuff, which is fine, but it's still like $1,800 or something. So
chump change. Go ahead and you want to get one? Get me one, John. I don't mind.
We're a ways off from the days where you get the sunglasses that have the heads up display. That would be cool. And it's like $100 or something. All right,
yeah,
cool.
I think the best commercials for those Apple headsets were the people walking around on the street wearing them. You're just like, why?
Yeah, no, it's not.
What is this?
No.
What I need I need them to be like, like glasses.
Yeah.
Like, like regular old, like the glasses that I wear. I need them to be like this.
Not even with the sides, just clips onto your nose, Matrix style.
Yeah, I need him to be like
cool.
something sleek, and if it can give me like a heads-up display, like Iron Man or some shit like that, or like
that, right?
like
That'd be
scout where I
awesome.
can get people's power levels and stuff.
Yeah,
I want to
Scouter.
try to fight them, or
Inject
if
it
not,
into my cornea. No one even knows I'm doing it.
I'm looking at
completely
people's power
spaced
levels
out.
and stuff. Like if they do that, I'll pick one up.
I did see somebody the other day who was walking around with the I think it's the Meta glasses. And I didn't notice it at first. So they're
the Ray-Ban
getting better.
ones.
They're getting
yeah,
better. The only reason I
Okay.
saw it is because they were in front of me at like the self-checkout thing and they turn.
They got like real
And-
close to you.
Well, you couldn't really notice it from the side profile, but when they turn to walk past you, they have like the little camera in
Yep.
the corner. Like, oh, okay, that's one of those the Meta Ray-Ban glasses that can record and
I
stuff.
feel like,
I do like Ray-Bans though. So
yeah, but I feel like there's a lot
Yeah.
to overcome with those glasses because like there's a lot of places like where you're not supposed to be recording people. So
Yeah, I don't know how that works because I didn't even
no,
notice
they can't
that
stop
that's what
me.
they were.
Nah, they
until-
can't. It's my glass. You don't know if I got to record it in here or not. Nah, I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm not sure because it was hidden pretty well. Like I said, I would have to be like a couple feet from the person to notice it. I was like, oh yeah. So I'm not even really sure all the stuff those glasses can do because I don't think there's maybe there is a heads up. I not sure. I had to look because the first iteration there really wasn't. It would have to communicate to your phone like exclusively. Claw says, what happens to Game Pass next gen? 2/3 of subs tied to consoles, but the user base is shrinking. Is Game Pass future just to be retired? That is a good question because guess what? They're probably going to rebrand it again for next generation. So they just keep rebranding this thing. I guess they're just going to make one Game Pass completely, and it'll be for PC or console because it's all mixed together. And who knows? It'll probably be $50 by then. Who knows? $50 a month. The way they're going. Stardust became a member. Shout out to Stardust. And Refuse says Spawncast on Saturday again. Oh, I'm so back. Hey, shout out to Refuse. Good to see you here. Let's talk about Animal Crossing. It got a Switch 2 edition. This is the most random announcement, by the way. People were making jokes that it's similar to actually logging back into Animal Crossing a year or two removed from it, and all your villagers are like, "Where have you been?" There's weeds everywhere and stuff. That's basically what we saw here, to where Nintendo just, we're doing a Switch 2 enhanced version of Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's coming out January 15th, 2026. So they're continuing to just stack games in 2026. But really, if you think about it, that would be 2.5 months from now. I know we hear 2026 and we're like, oh, next year. It's actually not that far away. And there's going to be a free update for the game itself with the Switch 1. And they're also going to have the Switch 2 enhancement being $5 more. And so $65 game or $5 upgrade if you already own it. 4K visuals, frame rate stays the same. It's Animal Crossing. I don't know how many people were hung up about frame rate, although it would look smoother at 60. That'd be nice, but at least it'll be cleaner visuals. And they're going to have 12 player online for the Switch 2. They have the ability to use the microphone, so you can yell to people and they'll tell you where they are. And they have the camera as well. I haven't really used the camera since I got it for the Switch 2, like the opening week.
I feel like
It
that
really
might be
hasn't
a
been used
common
much.
story.
Yeah, I was curious if that was the thing. Maybe if they keep doing more and more games like these where it does use it. Like I wasn't really playing Mario Party Jamboree like that, and that was the big game they were trying to push with it, or the campfire game. Yeah, I didn't really play either of those, so didn't really use the camera much. I'll be curious to see if this gets people actually using it. Animal Crossing is a very social game, so it's possible. But I have not played Animal Crossing New Horizons in a long time. I will admit I'm curious to see how it looks though here on the Switch 2 with this enhancement. Was it 46 million copies have sold?
48 million plus. Yeah, 48 million.
It's a lot. So even the $5 jump in price, which people look at that and go, there were two reactions. It's funny. Either, oh, it's only $5. It's not bad. And the other one was, it's $5. Why are you charging me? So it's like either way, you know. What can you do? But definitely not as bad as the $20 enhancements we've seen so far.
Or even the 10.
You're the 10? Yeah. You going back to this, OJ? You firing up Animal Crossing?
Oh, yeah, I'll check it out. I put about 50 hours into the first one, but that was during the COVID pandemic. So, like, maybe I was like, oh, okay, I'm inside all the time anyway. I can't really go out, so we can hang out here, I guess. Like some of like me in the stream. So I'll probably play with my stream a few times. Like I'm not a big Animal Crossing person. I play all of them, but I'm not gonna spend like hundreds of hours and like replace it like with my own life. And I'm not doing all that type of stuff, you know. So, but I'll probably check out some of the new content, see what's up with it, and then that'll be that. But yeah, up to 12. And if the online play, like, because like the online play in the original game is like really ghetto. So if it's like smoother and if it's like better, like it's like insanely ghetto. It's like somebody comes off the plane, you got to stop and watch. Hey, this person's coming off the plane.
Yeah, are you gonna wait for 12 of those?
Yeah, well, I'm saying if it's like better, like if it's faster and if it's like better, then okay, you know. But like if it's still the same, like it was, yeah, I'm good on the online play. So.
Yeah, I played New Horizons when it came out for a bit, and you're right. It was that pandemic time period where people looked at that as the social experience, and it was fun. You know, you'd go to people's islands, and it was cool and all.
Yeah, we did it. But we did a charity stream one time with that. Yeah.
Yep, we did. We ran around on the island and knocked down trees and did all kinds of stuff. But
I was Scott was there. I think I was. That, so.
Yep. Yeah, Scott. I think Sean, I think a lot of people was there. It was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time. I definitely was more in Animal Crossing back on the GameCube. That's the one I really remember very fondly. I know people think to like the Wii or the DS, but the GameCube one is the one that I think of usually when Animal Crossing comes up. Still though, I mean, it's super popular game for Nintendo, but because of this update, people are now wondering, hold on a minute, when's the next Animal Crossing coming out? Because it's already it has been 5 years then since New Horizons came out, more than 5 years, I guess, then technically. And people are like, okay, wait a minute, we're getting this update. I wonder if that does mean that we're still a bit off from the next Animal Crossing then for the Switch 2.
I personally don't think so. And the reason why is because people were complaining that there wasn't a ton of new content with Animal Crossing on the Switch. And I think it's because they were getting ready for a new game, because Animal Crossing games always come out every 6 to 7 years, regardless of whatever they're doing it on. It's going to be like 6 to 7 years in between Animal Crossing games. So I'm guessing they want to get people back into it right now and get them interested. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was an announcement at the end of this year and it comes out next year. So that would make it 7 years between the last one. So 2020 to 2027. So announcement next year for 2027. I wouldn't be surprised. So 7 years in between.
Yeah, I was looking at Animal Crossing as like a spring game. Like you can launch it in March, for example, you know. So if they announced it, you know, we can even say during their typical E3 June direct, and it's like, oh, it's coming out 2026.
There's not enough content in this for it to warrant like, oh man, it's going to take 10 years for this. I bet this thing's been done for a hot minute, because there's a good amount of content. Like that's a free update. You don't have to pay the $5 to play the content. There's a lot of content that's free on there, but like, it's not like it's like a whole, like, it's not like it's a ton of content that's going to get you like hundreds upon hundreds of like new extra things to play. It's some good stuff and you can put a lot of time into it, but it's not enough to where it's like, it feels like it's like a whole, like it's like Animal Crossing 2.5, New Horizons 2.5. I don't think it's that. I just think it's a nice little update and it's going to get you a good amount of hours, but it's not enough for me, at least for me to say that, oh man, they spent a lot of resources on this. So that's the reason why.
Reading that right. Chief Adam Gaming says, annoyed that the Switch 2 version of Animal Crossing doesn't include the DLC. You have to pay an extra $25 for it. The DLC for the Switch 1?
There's the DLC that you can get if you have the NSO. I think it's like the Happy Home, whatever.
Yes.
So if you have the NSO Plus, you get that. So if you have NSO Plus, you can get it. But yeah, it does. Nintendo hasn't been including all the DLC in any of their like that I can think of. Yeah, that I can think of. None of the Switch 2 editions have, like Zelda, that doesn't have the DLC either. So
right, that's right.
Zelda doesn't have it. But that's the only game that has DLC, like paid DLC. That's a Switch 2 edition that I can think of right now. But yeah, like if they did Switch 2 editions of like Xenoblade or something, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't include like Torna, or they wouldn't include, Future Redeemed or whatever.
Right, I see what you're saying with the DLC. Yeah. That's the thing. I was a little surprised because it is $5, but they wouldn't have thrown that into the what is it, the NSO thing, because it's $5. It's like, oh, we'll throw this in NSO, just extra value and stuff. But they are really separating these. Maybe just because they're at retail. I guess the Zelda games, those were thrown into NSO, so it's kind of hard to say how they're approaching some of this stuff.
Yeah, those were thrown into NSO. Those ones don't have any, new content at all. I mean, they don't really have anything for Switch. I mean, all they really have for Switch 2 is, they have some like the app thing, and they have some stuff that's pretty cool, but like it's not too much. You get obviously the upgraded graphics, which is great, and all of that.
Oh yeah,
that's really good. But yeah, like you can just get like the 3.0 update. That's free, so you don't need to buy the Switch 2 edition. You can just download the 3.0 update or whatever it is and just play that. You don't even need to you can still play it like at 1080p 30 on your, it's not even like you're getting 60 FPS. So
yeah, I see Medallion said $5. That's the thing. I think there are plenty of people who are just gonna be like, yeah, I kind of just want it's $5, whatever. And then some people are like, I don't really want to spend any money on this. So it's still backwards compatible, but I think the Animal Crossing community has been starved for so long for some update. They were shocked and amazed, and then the $5 came in, and they're probably just like, yeah, whatever, it's fine.
That's what I saw from a lot of people. Yeah, like people like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. At least we get something.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the Pokemon community has been up recently, and I'm like, guys, you need to go look at the Pokemon trading card game prices and how much money these people spend on that. The anything about the $70 games for ZA is not going to make them flinch. So the $5 for Animal Crossing, people who are super into it, and they're like, yeah, whatever. They've already made their decision at this point. But for Animal Crossing fans, I'm glad to see they finally got that the attention. They've really been looking for Nintendo. Like, we're trying to grab their attention for this for a while. So good to see they got something out of it. And hopefully they don't have to wait that much longer for something Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing has been established as big IP for Nintendo.
Yeah, and at least they didn't lock that content, the 3.0 update or whatever. At least they didn't lock that behind the Switch 2 edition. So, like I said, if you have a Switch 1 or a Switch 2, you can just download and get like that for most of the free content.
Yep.
So yeah, you don't have to pay the $5 for it.
Well, hopefully. I mean, we saw what Animal Crossing can do. So it's that's a big important IP and release for Nintendo. So I'd be shocked if they didn't have that thing planned out in the next, I mean, you said by 2027. So
I think it's 2026 announcement. I think it's going to mirror maybe what they did before. I think it was supposed to be 2018, then to 2019, but then it got delayed from 2019 to 2020. So I'm guessing they're going to try to get it out in 2027. So an announcement very end of 2026 then 2027, but we'll see.
Go over to, let's see. This is, I see it. Tony, super sticker. Shout out to Tony. We got the Chief Adam Gamer. We're good there. Let me go over to the Patreon where we had some questions that were asked in the mailbag. Blake says, what's the most excited you've ever been for a game release, and did it live up to your expectations? For Blake, it was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, man.
Wondering if that one lived up to your expectations, Blake.
Man, most excited. That's hard to say. I got a few games. I know I was really excited for Super Smash Brothers Brawl before that came out. Man, I was like so excited for that game. GTA San Andreas, I was like, I'm not a big GTA guy anymore, but back then I was so excited because I'm from LA area and all that, so like I was super excited for that as well. Yeah, those two.
Yeah, I think Halo 3 was the most excited I've been for a game ever. But I had that community event to it as well, because I worked at GameStop at the time, and I did the midnight release with like a bunch of other people worked there on the managers, and it was chaos. I mean, there was like literally 800 people there. It was insane. And then I went home from that and started playing the game. And then it was like the next day, went back to GameStop. So I ended up working in the morning after the midnight release. And it was still chaos. People were there waiting when we opened to get more Halo 3. It was crazy, but the game itself was awesome. It lived up to it.
Mass Effect 2. I think that was probably the most excited that I've ever been, was because like the story, the continuation, Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. I remember just literally not being able to sleep like a couple days before it released. I was like, oh my God, I gotta freaking play this game. Mass Effect 2 would probably be the game that I was like most excited to play. 360 back in like 2010. I think it was my last year in college. So yeah, super excited.
What about you, Evan? What was your game?
Well, normally going up to games, I try to keep the hype down. I subscribe to the Calvin and Hobbes method of, keeping the bar low so it can actually excite you when it releases. But if it's a most excited thing, it probably would have been Diablo 2's expansion, because at the time I knew a lot of people playing it, and I already knew I loved the game. So new class, tons of new stuff going into it. Just felt really cool. So that was probably a long time ago. Yeah.
I didn't know if it was gonna be like an MMO drop, like a World of Warcraft thing or something. Like that.
I didn't know I was going. No, I didn't know I was going to play World of Warcraft until my friends were like, "Get this." I was like, "All right." There goes 5,000 hours of my life.
I was
or whatever.
Say, yeah. Let's see. This is from Ornal, who says, "Seeing Amazon Game Studios get torn apart was terrible to watch as someone internal at the company. New World had its players. I'm starting to become nervous about trying new live service games that may or may not be around in a few years. It sucks to feel this way as an MMO enjoyer. These worlds are precious." I will tell you, there for a while there, when I was looking around at different MMOs, this is a long time ago. My gosh, this might have been like,
God, there were so many.
Was it early 2000s, mid 2000s, somewhere in there, right?
There was a website that it was like MMO.com, and it was just following every single MMO that was coming out. It was like 2 a week for the longest time.
MMOs would come out of like Korea constantly, and it was, and they would be around sometimes for like a few months, and they
like
go
a
away.
Month or two. Yeah. This is the WoW killer.
So that was pretty consistent, but it wasn't like, in this case, Amazon. Amazon's, big, huge, massive corporation company, and they just shut down New World, which I thought New World was going to be this big thing, and it's
all their games they hyped up, and I mean they've shut pretty much all of them down at this point.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is the reason why I don't, and I'm not just trying to say it to be Debbie Downer, but this is the reason why I don't invest my time. It's like investing your time into the Seattle Mariners. It's just going to disappoint you.
Man, I can't get off the hook for that, man.
Yeah, it's just going to disappoint you. They're not going to win. A lot of these MMOs are going to flop. They're not. So go for the sure bet MMOs, the WoWs or the Elders, the stuff that is probably going to be around, and leave a lot of these bum ass MMOs that pop up out of nowhere. Just leave them alone, because a lot of times you're just going to get invested. It's going to disappoint you, or the people that are running it. We didn't make $100 billion in this quarter, and they're just going to shut them down. We see it all the time. So I hate to say it, but man, don't waste your time with MMOs. Play single player games. Play stuff that great stories that you can kind of experience.
But this is,
in my opinion, that's just, I'm just
yeah, I know, but that's kind of from my perspective, that's I can't play a single player game where you're going to figure out what the AI is going to do every time, and then you're just on repeat mode, zonked out, not caring about what's going on. I'd rather have an interactive experience with other people, which is why I enjoy art, because then you don't know what's going to happen, as opposed to being like, I 100% know what's about to happen here.
I'm just saying, if you're sitting here and trying out all these different MMOs and thinking they're going to last, you got to also put it in your mind that a lot of them aren't going to last. It's cool to play Ark, and have fun. That's cool. It's a distraction shooter. I don't think it's heavy on the story, is it? Like, it's not like
no, it is. It's got background, it's got a lot of story. Okay. There's lots of logs, lots of
so you can enjoy it and you can play that, but also have that in the back of your mind. If you're playing a ton of these, a lot of them are going to shut down. So just keep that in mind. So for me, I try to limit it, and I don't really play any MMOs, but I just know that they're going to shut down or something's going to happen. But if you want to enjoy them, but just keep that in the back of your mind that it's probably going to shut down. So if you go into it with that mindset, you'll be good. Because you know what's going to happen.
Go over to here we go. Who Dat Man says, "Hey Spawncast, what's everybody's sales prediction for Kirby Air Riders? I think it will be harder to sell to casual gamers who may think it is Mario Kart with Kirby characters at first glance." What is a Kirby Air Rider? I mean, here's the problem. The last one, right, was GameCube.
Yeah, that's hard to predict what that's going to sell. That's going to be like a word of mouth game to like the Kirby fans. So I would say that if you've played or if you enjoyed Kirby spin-offs or other Kirby games, that's maybe where the target audience is going to lie. 8 million plus people bought Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So if you try to even market some of those, maybe a fraction of the people from that, buy this game, then it can probably sell upward of like a million, 1.5, 2 million. Maybe 3 million if they're really lucky, but Kirby's significantly more popular now than when it was,
That's true.
When
here's the thing though, I'm looking at this, OJ. It says that Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube sold more than 422,000 copies in Japan when it came out. Like not week 1, but like it actually, that's a fair amount for the GameCube in Japan.
Yeah, if you look at Kirby Air Riders, if you look at the view counts, the Japanese view counts are significantly higher than the Western view counts. Like like 4 or 5 million plus for like these Sakurai things, like 4 million or something like that. They're way higher on the Japanese channels that have way less subs than the Nintendo of America channel. So in Japan, it's going to be a big release. Like, it's going to do very well in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if it sold, upward of maybe 500,000 or close to that. I think it could get upwards of near that, maybe 300,000 plus or something like that. It launches at a good time. It launches right there in the holiday. So I think it can do really well in Japan, but we'll see about the rest of the world. So I'm predicting like maybe like 1.5, 2 million like lifetime. If it did anything more than that, I think it'd be like, that'd be very good for that type of game,
Joe McKenna says, I'm glad the Spawncast is finally hitting its 30% accountability margin after laying off panelists, saving money on Celia's camera and Jose's internet. All kidding aside, how much time is left on the clock for Xbox's leadership? And is there anyone they can bring in who can resurrect the brand?
Well, leadership will be semi-permanent. They'll just blame all the people below them, get rid of them, bring new people in, and hope.
We got to figure out where Don Matrick is working right now. He might be available. He might be in the bullpen.
So he can come back in, be ahead of his time.
Where is he right now? He's
knows where it's all going. He's just going to be 10 years in advance.
He was too far ahead. He called a lot of the digital stuff early, and he was too abrupt about it, too abrasive. He is at MDGB Capital. There's 3 capital letters in there. He might be gone. That might be too hard to pull him away from. This is what's he doing? He's a co-founder and co-president there. Private company that manages a group of assets and operating companies throughout North America.
Hedge fund.
He is someone who takes people's money. That's what he takes people's money.
Cut out the middleman of trying to appease a bunch of nerds.
That's what he does. He just takes people's money, guys.
I don't know, because some were wondering if Satya Nadella, who's the CEO of Microsoft, is starting to kind of plan his exit, like retirement. Some have been speculating on that. If he were to, that'd be interesting if he were to retire or set out to leave the company in like a year or two. What would happen then to Microsoft?
Like Phil walks in, he's like, I got this, guys.
Well, eventually Phil would retire too. That's the thing. I don't know what happens if some of these people start retiring or leaving, because it does kind of feel like Xbox, while Microsoft's kind of married to Xbox now after buying Activision Blizzard. It's always felt like they are, like hanging on by a thread, Xbox. So I don't know. From what I understand, if Phil were to leave, it would be very difficult for Xbox to continue on. Apparently he is like the one holding on to keep Xbox there. So I'm not sure what happened if Phil were to retire. I don't know how old is Phil Spencer right now?
He's in his late 50s or mid 50s.
55. Okay, he's 55. He's 55.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like when you're getting in your 60s, you're starting to look around and think about it. So he might have still some time there, where before he starts looking around and it's like, maybe I will retire. Satya Nadella's 58. So it's just that when you're at those,
you look way older than that, bro.
That's the thing, though. When you're at that kind of position, CEO, dude, how stressful those jobs are.
That man do not look
quick.
You do not look 58. That man looks 60 to 78.
Yeah, those jobs will age you, man. That's the thing. When you got the stress of like these
I would quit soon.
Companies.
If I was him, I would quit soon. I'd take that money. He's worth over $1 billion. I'd take that money and be like, I'm out. Like, he can't be looking like that at 58. Oh no.
Rick says he said he would leave when the next Xbox release. Well, the next Xbox, if that's out in 2 years, he'd be like 57, almost 58. He'd probably be thinking about it then, because he wouldn't just leave right away. It would be that thing where they transition roles and probably restructure some of the stuff. So it would probably be over the course of like 4 or 5 months or something. He'd put basically his 4-month notice in or something, not a 2-week notice. This is from Vegeta, who says, sad to see Xbox go the publisher route. Unfortunately, though, I don't know if they would ever have reached the heights of the 360 ever again. I do wonder, though, if Xbox stuck with exclusives, including everything from ABK, Bethesda, etc., you guys think they would have overtaken PlayStation? They say they doubt it. Personally, people who like PlayStation will buy a PS5. Same with Nintendo fans and Switch.
Listen, the Microsoft, they could have somewhat replicated the experience if they pulled if they did what they did with the 360. They have the market. They literally they have.
Huh? What, the edge lording? Like
Well, I mean,
a lot of it was like, "Look, this is the edgelord community.
Well, they did a
leaned
great
into it.
they did a great job of getting core games of like they reached out to Japan. Obviously, Japan wasn't super successful for them, but it's the most success that they've had. They got games like Lost Odyssey, they got Blue Dragon, they obviously had great Halo games. You know, they followed that. They had Fable Anniversary, like they had some good
BioShock,
stuff.
that was on the 3. I remember that game was crazy.
BioShock was great. So if they followed their plan of what they did with the 360, I think they absolutely could have stole market share from Sony, like more market share from Sony if they did, but they didn't. So they did the whole connecting. I mean, listen, I get it. People do buy PlayStation, like that's their thing, but I'm telling you, the attitude was different in the mid to 2000s. It wasn't as like the PS2 attitude where everyone's just buying Sony. There was a good split. It was close in sales, So
yeah, they were very cutthroat with that 362 versus Sony. They were looking to do what they could to just pull market share away from Sony.
And they did. They pulled a lot of market share from them,
Yep. They had the cheaper system. They had a lot of third-party exclusives that were just on Xbox, and the third-party games that came out 9 times out of 10 ran better on the 360 because it was easier to develop for. They had everything in that.
They had it all they had to do was make like a true successor sequel to the Xbox 360 and have Xbox the Kinect set. Yeah, just the Xbox 720. Be aggressive with your marketing. Be aggressive with your exclusive games. Bring out your guns, your Halo, your Gears. Bring out that stuff that people love. Get your certain third-party things here and there. And I think they really could have done. It would have been different. I think they could. I mean, they sold almost 60 million Xbox Ones.
Yes, it was almost 60 million.
Yeah, almost 6. And they messed that generation. They messed up. They messed up and sold 60 million. Almost 6. I mean, that's almost as much as I think the NES sold 60 million. They sold almost as much as the NES.
Yeah.
And they messed up. And they messed up. And they didn't have great Halo. They didn't have a great Fable. They did not have a lot of their great, like imagine if they actually got it right with Halo and Fable and all of that. And they also had like the pricing and everything was good from the beginning. The marketing was great. I think they could have easily sold 90, maybe even 100 million systems. Maybe, but it didn't work out that way.
It did not. Steven says, was curious if you guys have heard anything about the recent Affinity app unveiling. Sounds like we have a viable Adobe competitor. Was curious if you guys use Adobe and are considering switching. I do use Adobe. I was not aware of the Affinity unveiling. Did I miss something, Evan?
I mean, there's a lot of companies that are trying to compete with Adobe, which is usually a good thing because Adobe is kind of shit as a company.
Affinity.
They're very clear about their bad business practices. Like, thanks for paying for our service. If you try to bail on our service, here's the fee you're gonna have to pay us for bailing on it, kind of stuff.
Adobe as in like editing software. Adobe.
Oh, I see. Affinity says this new Adobe rivaling creative app is free forever.
I mean, it's great sounding for now, but the story of what I use mostly for my at least illustration side of stuff, Clip Studio, when it first started out, was buy it once, we'll update it forever. And then there was we have to turn it into a monthly fee so that we can actually keep updating it with new cool stuff, which turned into a backlash where everyone yelled at them. And then they were like, all right, cool, what you're gonna have to do instead is you can either pay that or you have to pay for the license update to get the new stuff. And it's like, it's cool that they're saying it's free forever. It's free forever till it's not. Keep that in mind.
Oh, is it mostly photo editing?
It probably has a ton of stuff in it. Like, it might have other options. It's usually just companies that try to match the same systems of what Adobe uses, but like they try to not be assholes about it, at least at first. And
still, that people ask all the time, like, what's a good editing software that doesn't cost like a bunch of money? And I mean, if that's at least decent and it's actually somewhat free, that might be a recommendation.
Because I think the core of it right now is either Adobe or DaVinci, and DaVinci has like its sort of money sinks that you have to pay into if you don't want to do the free version. But I mean, it is what it is.
Game Bro says, how are we feeling about the leaked RGDS specs? I was going to get that as a DS exclusively, not even thinking 3DS. So I think it's going to be okay. My only concern, it would be the screens and the resolution that they're apparently wheeling out. So I will tell you, I'm going to get one so I can see it in person, and I'll do a video on it. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I'm a little down versus how exciting it was to see it, at least like it was off-screen footage. Little down now seeing some of the specs, but got to give them a chance to at least put it out there, and then we'll have some independent sources looking at it. Hopefully they have that announcement soon. I was thinking it was going to be coming out before the end of this year, and we're cutting it close. Let me go over here to some of the super chats. Oh, PJ's Camp. Shout out to PJ's Camp, becoming a YouTube member. Good to see him. Grand Bip says, "Hey, Spawncast, just switched to PS5 today after being on Xbox for 20 plus years. Haven't had a PlayStation since PS1. What would you recommend I play first? Game Pass, the only thing keeping me 30 is just too much." Okay, so you just switched to PS5 today after being with Xbox for 20 plus years.
Astrobot.
So hold on, you have Astrobot's a good one. That is actually on your PS5 right now is Astro's Playroom. Check that out. If you like it, buy Astrobot. Absolutely. But you're saying right now you have been on Xbox 20 plus years. So there is 20 years. Well, technically you go back through the PS4 generation as well.
Here's what you do.
So
start buying all the
2013.
Xbox games that are coming out on PlayStation.
There's so many, but I mean, if that's the case, right? There's so many games over the last. I mean, if you subscribe right now,
it is an Xbox. I just
Yeah.
want to say that.
Here's my recommendation, Grand Bip. Okay, because this sounds like you have not looked into even PlayStation much since then. I would recommend getting 1 month of the PlayStation Plus Premium, and then going through all the games, browsing, seeing what you think, and then try some of those games out, because they have like Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut on there. They have a lot of the big first-party games, even from Sony, that have found their way in, third-party games as well that are exclusive to it. So that would be, and they also have game trials. So there are games that have come out recently you can try for a couple hours. This seems like a situation where you just need to try some of the stuff without like buying a $70 game outright. Like it might be a good opportunity to just kind of look around through PlayStation Plus, because you can even look through it before you subscribe and see if there's anything that jumps out to you to try out on your new system. But only a month. I don't necessarily know if I would say, yeah, go all in on a year. I think it's for a month, it's like $17 or something. I would just do that and then browse and try some stuff and see if anything sticks out to you, because then you can just go buy it and add it to your and start building up your physical collection if you got the one with the disc drive or your digital library. So that would be my recommendation, though. Otherwise, there are a number of PlayStation 5 games that like you probably didn't. I assume you didn't play Spider-Man when that came out, the 2018 Spider-Man, or God of War, or Horizon, or if you're big into cars, Gran Turismo. So I will give the Final Fantasy games.
I got a couple recommendations. I like Returnal. I think that's a great game. So yeah, check out Returnal. I like Stellar Blade, which is probably going to come to Xbox at some point, but Stellar Blade's good.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, well, I don't really like that much, but that's there as well.
That was a good game.
Also, Astrobot is good. Horizon
wait for
series
new
is good,
Returnal too. The new one they're coming out with.
The new Saros is coming out, and there's going to be Wolverine. So there's going to be some pretty cool stuff. But Returnal's a super gamey type game. So if you're into like arcade shooters and rogue games, like Returnal is fantastic, and it's all updated. It's really good now at this point.
That's a good one. Yeah, there's a lot. If you just said 20 plus years, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of games to catch up on. But that's good, because that means you probably won't run out of stuff to play. So.
I mean, Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. I know some people dunk on Part 2, but Last of Us, like the story is very. I mean, even if you don't like, it's very. It's engaging. Like it's gonna, grab you.
Gameplay's good.
Yeah, and the gameplay's good. The gameplay's really good in Part 2. Like the story, okay, but the gameplay, fantastic in Part 2. So
they either they did release that. There's a double pack you can also get, but I think they put. That's why I mentioned the PlayStation Plus. They put that into PlayStation Plus. So those are just other games that if you subscribe, you can literally just go play 1 and 2 right now. Just outright try them out. And then, hey, if you don't like it, then you go, okay, I'm moving on. I'll check something else out. You're not tied to it necessarily. So that's why I'd recommend spend like $17 or $18 on a month of premium and just look around for the first time into the PlayStation ecosystem, and then maybe write some games down that you like, and then you got the holidays coming up and stuff. So. Demon Souls remake. I got you. Demon Souls remake. I had like 8 people in the chat were like, Demon Souls remake. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Gotcha covered. And is that Kugan says OJ spitting facts, these MMOs are not it. Man. Claw says, I want to know what's holding up all the ABK back catalog from going to Game Pass. Then there's all the older PC franchises like Freelancer. You and me both, Claw, because I thought that they would be a bit more proactive about putting these Activision Blizzard games that they now own into Game Pass. They are worried about putting Call of Duty in there. I don't know. Who knows? What the deal is? They might be doing some remasters. Like Prototype might be getting some remasters. That'd be cool. Do a Prototype one. That'd be fun. I'd play that again.
Just give me a new one, please.
Yeah, that's a big risk.
With the new
Here are the old ones again.
But with the new tech that's out,
yeah, they can do some really cool stuff. Yeah, with like open world building. Yeah, yeah.
All I ever wanted was like a good superpower battle in a city like that, and the second one kind of gave you it randomly in the middle of nowhere in one of their tiny freaking little cities where some guy turns into you basically and beats the crap out of you in the streets, and you're just chucking cars at each other, and it's so cool.
So that's what I was thinking that like an Invincible game would be like, and then we got to fight.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
it's so much easier.
I know.
Here's the side scroller. You go.
Like, let's get a AAA Invincible game. Like, yeah, you're gonna get one, but it's gonna be fighting. I'm like, oh.
Ice says, with Microsoft Gaming, do you trust your entitlements purchased with them now? That's the other question. People are real worried about their digital library right now, and I don't blame them. It's kind of sketchy when you think about that. Like, I don't know what Microsoft does. Stadia just gave us all our money back.
So they'll tell you you can access it on your copy of Windows 11.
Yeah, it'll probably be something like that, which is a shame.
Microsoft's been pretty good with the account system stuff in your games. So, I mean, if there's anybody to have confidence in, maybe it's probably them, right?
I assume that's why they're making this push for PC, because Windows will live on probably forever. It'll probably outlive us. But Xbox, who knows? But hey, if all your entitlements are now tied to your Microsoft account, then you're good. Just build a PC. So Noah says, what would the world look like today if the former PlayStation CEO's name was Ryan Jim instead? Probably have Bloodborne by now.
In 5 remasters, like released yearly.
Space says, hey, John, I was wondering on that emulation box you made. I'm not a tech guy, so I was wondering on any cheap and safe one similar to yours up to PS2. There's a number of them. PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox emulation has gotten significantly better over the last like 2 or 3 years. It really is pretty easy to emulate on a lot of these. Even the small office PCs, which I have another one I'm working on that is funny enough, they jammed a video card in the thing somehow. It's like this little box, and they put an AMD video card in it. But you can find these boxes for $70 or $80 that'll do 1080p GameCube games or PS2 games without too much issue. Just like a nice i5 7000 series HD 620 or 630 GPU, like integrated GPU, and you're good. HP and Dell are usually the ones that get the most looks. So I have a few more of those I wanted to do because there's a bunch of interesting configurations. People were asking me about how to make a PS3 emulation box for cheap, and I made one of those. So I got a couple of those. People seem to like them. They're fun. So 1080p PS3 emulation box is coming up at some point. We'll do that. The next one is going to be a sub $200 gaming PC that is smaller than a Wii, but plays all the games that I loved from the 360, PS3, and Wii era. Like that kind of generation, 2005 to 2013. So Prototype. Throw Prototype in there. I think that's everything there. And I think I have everything here. We're good in that. All right. Yes. Okay. Go around here as we finish up. OJ, where can everyone find you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Player Essence. I've got my finale. I said I was going to do this a bit ago, but didn't get around to it. Finale top 10.
You're retiring?
Finale. I'm done. Done with the Mariners.
Last episode.
No, I got my finale when it comes to my top 10 Switch 1 games. So it's going to be an interesting list because I'm only going to do games that are like, can't be like one per like a series. So it's not just going to be a bunch of Zeldas and Xenos. So it's going to be pretty cool. So I got that almost done. So That'll be up tomorrow, and I got a marathon stream. I pretty much stream daily, so I got a marathon stream coming up next week that we're going to be playing a bunch of different games. If you want to come hang out, I pretty much stream every single day, and I do videos, like news videos. I do all sorts of different RPG stuff and stuff. So yeah, if you want to drop by, come say what up, you can. Player Essence on YouTube. So thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate it.
Evan, where can everyone find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, socials, Kimrick's Project. We do tabletop stuff. I'm working on a paint project right now that we did a little bit on Twitch and YouTube today. And if I'm gaming, it's usually only over on Twitch because now that I got this stuff up and running, we're doing a little bit of ARC. We might do some other stuff as well.
Yep. Shout out to Rick's there. Yeah, the tighter crew. We get some good conversations in still. It's not necessarily chaos, but I think it flows pretty well as the bit of a contrast there from, I mean, Sean still managed to find his way in and
tried to DMCA strike us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still fun. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Enjoy the extra hour of sleep tonight. We fall back tonight. So
let's go, baby.
Yep. Enjoy that one. So TGA Calenshaw, TGA fast approaching. What are you excited for? To find out that Death Stranding 2 won Game of the Year and then see the internet catch on fire 5 minutes later. No.
There's nothing to be excited for when it comes to the please. That's something I have the Evan approach on that one. Going with no expectations or little to nothing when it comes to TJ.
I mean, if you had my approach to it, just don't go in and wait for the collection of trailers at the end.
I will tell you. Well, you probably go stream it. So
yeah, I'm gonna stream it because we always make jokes and have like literally we laugh the whole time. We just make jokes. Like one time there was like the French black dude, he was like kicking people for Blade. Wasn't that at like the TGA's?
That's right.
Year?
Bam.
Yeah, he was like, oh, and he was like kicking people and shit. And then there's like the Oscars. Like you don't want to miss like moments like that. You know?
Yeah, Jeff's always got a facial expression for everything. So I will say going into the Game Awards, if Valve's gonna pull it off and drop Half-Life 3, I'd be there for that.
Ooh.
I'd be there for that.
I don't know if they do that there. I think they would just tweet it out one day.
They might just tweet it. How random would that be on a Tuesday? Hey guys, Half-Life 3 is coming out. Also, we're making a console box. You know, just a Tuesday.
I mean, it's just classic Valve. He'd probably go like talk at a school and bring it up there. Like it would just be in a recording of him being like, "The future's bleak, kids. Half-Life 3, though."
I mean, he does kind of randomly do stuff. I mean, he talked about some things like with the interview, like with the YouTuber with like 600 subs or something like that.
Yeah,
which is nothing wrong with that at getting the smaller YouTubers some subs. But like, yeah, he was just talking about stuff and like his daily life and what he does. And
it's that feeling of not giving a shit.
Yeah, like, he's worth billions of dollars. He's on his yachts. He doesn't give a shit. Like,
well, that's everything for tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.